Should Christians be involved in politics? You know, that's a great question. A lot of people say yes, a lot of people say no, and quite frankly, there's a lot of people, sad to say, they don't know whether or not Christians should be involved in politics. You know, anytime the subject matter does turn to politics, people don't like it. Some people get outraged, debates, arguments break out between your friends or your family members, and a lot of times you avoid those conversations. They happen in churches all the time. There are those who are politically sound, they like to engage in those kind of things, and there's other people in the church that don't like to. There's family members who are very political, there's other family members who are not. But regrettably, scores of Christians have lost hope in their representatives. Right now, less than 10% of Americans put their faith and their trust in Congress. Congress, out of the three branches, is the most powerful one because it writes the laws of our land. And yet less than 10% of Americans put their faith in Congress. They believe that they're corrupt. So if you were to survey Christians from off the streets to describe politics in their own words, they would probably say it's nothing more than a bunch of bureaucrats and crooked politicians vying for votes to keep themselves in power. And you know what? A lot of that is true, which is often why Christians avoid politics altogether. But this is a great shame because politics plays an extremely important role in all of our lives. Politics literally means relating to citizens. That is, politics has to do with electing the right officials through a democratic system that will uphold the law and legislate public policies good for citizens they represent. Or to put another way, avoiding partisan politics, that's key, can be a good thing to do. But avoiding moral issues in our society and avoiding taking a stand on them is not a good thing to do. As a Christian, and all these Christians in America right now, we must be salt and light in the world, in our country, in our state, in our city. We cannot afford to stick our pious heads in the sand and allow the world to go to hell in a handbasket. There's more to politics than political parties. I want to say that again. There's more to politics than just the Democrats or the Republicans, or broken promises, or bad policies. It's a way of life. So the question Christians must answer is, what kind of life do they want to live in America? What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of life do you want to have for your family? Do you want the government to be encroaching on your liberties and your religious freedoms? I certainly don't. I certainly don't want it for my 4 children and the future generations of my family and yours. We want government to be out of the business of telling us what to do in our businesses as well as in our homes. We want to have parental rights. We don't want to be forced to pay more taxes and to fund abortions here in our country. Those things are wrong. Take, for example, abortion, contraceptives, same-sex marriage, gambling. These aren't merely political issues. They are moral issues. And so whatever morality is legislated becomes the law of the land. That's why Christians in general should be involved in politics. The more participation and representation Christians have in the governing of our society, the better chance the moral landscape of American society will improve. Serving in public office is considered a high honor, but serving with a good conscience is even better. God works through people as conduits to bear His name and uphold to His truth. It is God who establishes the governing authorities, we're told in Romans 13 and 1 Peter 2, and it's the moral duty and responsibility of Christians to submit and pray and obey their leaders in 1 Timothy 2, 1 and 2. The bottom line is that our society could use more salt and light, like Jesus said in Matthew 5, 13 through 16. Just think of the influential men in the Bible who made a difference by being involved in the politics of their day. Elijah confronted Ahab in 1 Kings 17 and 18. Nathan rebuked King David in 2 Samuel 12. John the Baptist spoke against Herod in Matthew 14. Esther, she stood up to the king's edict to protect her people from slaughter, from murder in Esther 7. Paul defended his rights as a Roman citizen before the governing factors of his day in Acts chapter 22, 23, and 25. These people were involved. So who will be an advocate? Here's the question I leave with you. Who will be an advocate for justice and speak out against evil and corruption if Christians don't? It's not a matter of putting your faith into a politician, but rather it's about praying for and supporting statesmen, civil servants who fear God, respect the law, and count it an honor to serve their people. If you're telling me right now, but Jason, there's nobody that I know that is that, maybe that person is you.